how do we help all of our students build the data skills? We were talking last week on data literacy is this big thing like general literacy or numeracy. It's this foundational big set of interconnected skills that our students need to be successful here in the 21st century. So it crosses all of our subject areas. It crosses all of our grade levels. This is not just one high school class that we can take at the end of our K-12, but really we build upon that over time, which is great because that means it's not on any one of us to do this all in our everyday, in our classroom, things like that. And makes it a little complicated because it means in some ways, because we need to collaborate and we need to make sure we're sort of who's on first, what's on second. We have a sense of what that is and we have a direction of where we're going. And so that we're all working together in synergy rather than working in our silos and it's episodic, what students are getting exposed to and what skills they're picking up when and how far it goes and different things like that. So data literacy is a big thing. Yes. And this is why it's so important that we spend the time to think and collaborate and discuss and plan on how we're doing different things. And I know there are so many things going on right now that you have on your plate and that your teachers have on your plate and all of the different things depending on what role that you are sitting on. But we had a great discussion. We had lots of great discussions last week and the questions have been coming in. It's been fun talking with you all via email with some of your questions as well about what are 3 things that we can do between now and the end of the year? Because there's a million things we could do, but what are we actually going to do? Which step are we going to take to sort of start this next step towards where we want to go? So last week we talked about collectively looking at curriculum in department meetings to identify, just like picking a lesson plan and just identifying as adults, sort of spending that time to think about, well, what actually are we asking our students to do? And when are they being asked to do that? And where are they being asked to do that? And what actually is it that they need to do with the data? And having that opportunity to just pause and reflect and think really critically about the different components of any learning experience that involves data can be really helpful to spark more conversations. We also talked about how we can leverage existing progressions of what the different data skills look like across different grade levels as starting points to think about either within a grade band, within a grade band or within a grade level team, within a department, thinking about, okay, so what's our lane? What are the pieces that we are going to do? And what do we not need to worry about because our other colleagues within the district are going to do that? And or that opportunity to be like, okay, so how are we thinking strategically across the district to think about sort of who's doing what when to make it easiest for all of us, and how does that align with our existing curriculum and how we can do things? And then we talked briefly about sort of one way to do that is by leveraging these existing progressions and do a bit of mapping based on your own curriculum, things like that. It can sound big. It actually doesn't take too much time to do that sort of surface level mapping and components and things like that. As we are going through, we do it with schools across the country. It's really fun. And it's a great first step to think about, mostly to think about like, what are we doing consistently and what are we doing really well? And then you can get into the like, and what's missing? Like what aren't we hitting very much or hitting at all that we do actually really want our students to be picking up, or just in general, as we are building their knowledge and understanding and skill sets for the 21st century. And because many of us work in this reality, and what's maybe showing up on our state tests that isn't actually showing up really clearly in our current curriculum.